What's
What?
good? Had
What's
to bring out the shirt.
oh, I love it. That's what I'm talking about. That was not
Represent.
that was not planned, everybody. That
Not
was
at all.
not planned. How you doing?
You know what? Good. I've had that song Mink Mink in my head. Like, I don't know if you've seen the TikTok trend, but it's like, no, 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 over, I'm a mink, mink, mink. Got. That whole thing has just been stuck in my head. So I've been walking around going,
Like, hey, man. Yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you for this.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You're a
Reach me
legend.
out. Legend, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I'm
No, but
aspiring.
aspiring, aspiring. You know, I never seen you without a smile.
A good thing.
That's a great thing. That's a
A
great
good
thing.
thing.
But you know,
That's cute. I was like, some people can't say the same.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, like people who smile a lot, I believe that they earned that smile.
Ooh, baby, the stories.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
So it's a lot of I know it's a lot behind, the smile.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like I'm me and you gonna talk
Mm-hmm.
and just vibe, but whatever whatever you want to talk about, you talk about. But I could relate to a lot of stuff. So I know that a lot of times when people smile a lot, we really not supposed to. Like you know how they say in church. You know how they say in church, I don't look like what I've been through.
Baby, look, the level of delusion I live on an every single day to
Mm,
always have joy. Like,
mm,
oof,
right,
it's
right.
intentional.
Yeah, to a point where it just becomes you, you know,
Yes.
regardless of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's deep. That's powerful, you know. Uh, but like I said, Christina, I know you. Could you tell the people, like, who are you and what do you do?
What's good? What's popping? What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Christina Alexandria, aka MC InHerGy. Some of y'all know me from the biz. I was on the OG original team in 2019. Some of you know me as MC Christina Alexandria, and some of you are getting to know me as MC InHerGy. So there's a lot of transformational legacy in between these people and how I got here today.
Are those people different people?
Yes, they have
Yeah.
to be. Christina in 2019. It's funny because we threw a party for Wesley as like a retirement thing. And me, him, and Lamarla was talking, and I was like, dog, I was 29 when we started Cobiz. I'll be 36 this year.
Mm,
Like, that's crazy. And so, yeah, they're different people in a way that I'll say 29-year-old Christina had a desire to become. MC Christina Alexandria was figuring out what becoming is. And then MC InHerGy is the embodiment of all of that allowing to grow and to elevate and to shed and to transform. And it feels like she is home now.
wow. I love that. That's so like kind of like full circle. And you say like
Yeah.
9 year old. How was it like for you growing up? Like where were you from? Uh
Oh,
how was
I'm
the
a
street?
I'm a Bay Area baby. So I'm three generations West Oakland, four generations Richmond, but I was raised in Vallejo.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Yeah.
and growing up, like what were some of like your biggest inspirations?
So who I am today, like I always laugh that little Christina would look at me today and say, "What happened?"
Like what happened in like what happened?
Like what happened as in you wanted to be the first Black woman Supreme Court justice, and now you're a hype woman. Like, how do we go from wanting to be this to be this? And so you asked me how growing up was. It was very academic. My parents did not play about me in school. I was top of my class, AP student, always performing, performing, performing. I also played tennis. I was one of the few Black girls in the USTA in the California division, top 100 in the state, super overachiever. Um, and I'm the oldest of seven kids, so second mom too. Like my parents have been married for 36 years. So my dad has always been there. But when you have that many kids in a family, the oldest sibling is always going to be like the mom, or at least the oldest daughter. I was used
Yeah,
to having to perform and to care and always pour outside of myself.
I love that. I love that.
Hmm.
So you were like how what's that relationship with your siblings today?
It's different. I'm learning how to, because I grew up as mom, right? There's
Right.
a way that like it just as an adult that doesn't work. Like you can't be mom to grown people that are not your actual kids. Um now though I'm learning to have a relationship to them as my siblings, as my brothers, as my I'm the oldest and the girls, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the order. Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Um And so I'm learning that relationship to them as an adult is something that you gotta like rebuild. Like we had a relationship that I was forced into as a
Yeah,
kid,
yeah.
but now as an adult, I have to like create that space with each other. And so learning. I'm not good at it at all, but I'm learning.
But you're learning. You're learning.
Hmm.
That's what's up. So we see the shirt, right?
Hmm.
We see the shirt. How did you get connected, with Cobiz? And what was your role? And tell us that story.
Oh man, there's it's a lot. I'm gonna try to keep it short because I know you got so many other things to ask me too. So in 2019, I was the social media manager for Dimlis Johnson III. He was the youngest person to run for Richmond City Council at the time. And I was a one woman show, ran a national campaign, got him in office, along with a team that nobody believed could do it. Like all of us were in our 20s. And we're talking about we're running up against OGs who were in their 60s, large political careers, all this other stuff. And they basically told us to enjoy the ride, but he wasn't going to get in office. Well, he did. um, and that, by way of that, that opened doors for me to be in places and spaces I didn't know were starting to open in Richmond. The Richmond Food Hall, when it opened in, I think that was April 2019, he got an invitation, social media manager, photographer, I had to go. And that's where I met Wesley Alexander.
Mm.
And, the political game in Richmond is a lot. And I could literally talk about that in and of itself. A lot of boistering, a lot of positioning, a lot of, you know, this is what it is. And then when you actually behind the scenes, you're like, oh, you really about what you say you about. And so I was running into this conflict of like wanting to support community, but not wanting to do it in the spaces that I was currently in because it was vexing my spirit. And so when
Oh.
I met Wesley, you know, not to sound like over the top, but I looked at this man and was like, something different about this nigga. Like, I'm around a because you know him, you know what I'm talking about.
You-
I'm like,
yeah.
this is not your typical black man. Like, what's up? And so that intrigue led me to finding out about Cobiz, being a part of the space before it even opened. I was going through a lot of life stuff, and Wesley, I didn't know, in us meeting was like trying to, build his Avengers, build his team.
Yeah.
I was on the watch list. And through that relationship of me just coming in and seeing the vision and doing tours for him because he was trying to set up a space, he offered me the role of community manager. And so August 2019, I got exactly what I have been praying for, which was I wanted to leave out of the political landscape because I didn't think it was healthy for me, and landed in Cobiz as literally the community manager of the space.
That's powerful. When you
Mhm.
got to Cobiz, what was like your first? job? Like, what was the first thing you worked on?
So back to, if you know Wesley, you're gonna understand why this is funny. My first assignment, I had to read thousands upon thousands slide decks about the co-working industry. I mean,
Oh,
ages of reports, because he was like, you have to understand this space. And so it wasn't like, oh, do this program or do this. It was like, no, you got 2 weeks to read all these things. And so I read through all the information, and we had a conversation about the role. And he was like, and we laugh about it now. I said, because you foreshadowed my career as an MC. He said, as the community manager, you are going to be the energy and synergy of the space.
mm,
MC Energy 6 years later. But
wow.
we'll get to that. So he was
All
like,
these full circles. All
all
right, all
these full circles. So
right.
he's like, you're going to be the energy and synergy of the space. And at the time, nobody knew, but because of the stuff that I was going through, and I like basically divorced my family because I really wanted to try to live life for me and not for the appeasement of everybody else, I became an alcoholic. So I have been drinking tequila straight every single day for 368 days. And he said, you have to be the energy and synergy of the space. And I looked him dead in the eye and said, I'm an alcoholic. There's no way I could do this unless I get clean. It's probably 3, 4 times I've ever seen Wesley shocked in his life, but that was the first. And he gave me 2 weeks off paid to get clean and sober. And after that, I also went through a lot of training. Shout out to Kelly from Coach to Discover. She's a longtime Cobiz supporter as well, executive coach. After I got clean, he got me coaching with her. And she really worked with me, like unraveling all of these identities that were not my own. So
Mm,
I could really find myself as a person. So then I could show up in the role the way I actually needed to.
wow, wow.
Hmm.
So that moment, right? That moment where you just looked him in his eyes and told him, was that? Tell me about that, because it just seems like that would have been a scary thing to do for somebody. Like, this is a job, and this is your boss. He's giving you a role, and you look him in his eye. Usually, people hide stuff like that, and you just walk to him and you said, "This is what it is."
Yeah. So I'm gonna answer that and backtrack. And right before I met him, I had this full like breakdown moment. And it was like, and this is where I started calling God Sky Daddy, because I realized that there's different versions of God to me. There's omnipotent God, and then there's like, you got me messed up God, and that's that's Sky Daddy God. So I was like looking up drinking. I was in the middle of drinking tequila, and I'm like, dog, there's no way like life is supposed to be like this. There's no way that life is supposed to be you born, you go to school, you follow the rules, you die, like you work forever and you may travel in between and then you may have kids and you may I said, there's no way. Yeah, it's like take me out. I don't want to be here if that is like the thing. I said, I don't want to be married in my mid-20s. I feel like there's so much more to me that I need to meet before I can bring a child in this world. I was like, I don't want to work at corporate anymore. They're all drug addicts. Like, I was like, I don't want and I worked in finance. And when I tell you they was doing stuff I never heard of. I was like, these people make millions of dollars a year and are empty. There's
Mm,
no way. Like, I went to Pepperdine University where I was around a bunch of rich kids. And I watched like their souls be gone because they had everything, but they didn't have themselves. And so
mm,
in that prayer, I was like, I want more. And I'm willing to meet you in what more is, but you got to give me something different. So I had prayed all of that. And it wasn't like on my knees, like the Tyler Perry movies where they were like, oh God. I was sitting there drinking, like knocking back shots, being like, look here, like I can't keep doing this. And then I met him. So when he told me what the space needed, I don't think I even thought twice about telling him, only because I knew what I had prayed for. And so internally, I felt this conviction like this is a do or die moment for you. Admit and see what happens, because you would have fired me, oh well. or just this is the time. And I felt like, okay, I asked for this. Part of prayer and seeking God for things is you're going to be exposed in where you lack. So you can be more equipped to prepare for where you need to go. And a lot of that work either is going to be done to you, meaning that the people, universe, God, whatever, he going to do it to you regardless, or you have an opportunity to get out in front of it yourself. And so I took the opportunity to get out in front of it myself and just was honest with him. And so, and I think a lot of it, to even as we talk about it today, I think a lot of it had to do with his spirit just felt so pure
Mhm.
and it felt safe to do so. But I also understood when he talked about Cobiz, he always said we coined Cobiz as community before business, and community is the people, right? So as people, he understood that he would need to give me the space as people. I am a reflection of the people that we were going to serve over the 6 years that I worked in, and if he couldn't do that with me, then how would he do that with a community member? If he couldn't do that with me, how could I do that for a community member as a community manager? So I think that grace that was extended to me to get clean and sober, because yes, you're right, it was a job. Yes, Cobiz is a co-working space. Yes, we need to make a certain revenue, but also its intention has always been its people.
Love it.
And I was people.
And you as people. That's what's up. So you felt like exactly what you just said. You felt like, okay, I'm here to serve people, but I'm here to be served too at the same time.
Mhm.
That's
And
powerful.
as somebody who sits in board positions now and lots of roles of leadership that people don't even know as Christina, not even as MC Energy, I sit in these rooms and a lot of folks who do nonprofit work or community led work, it's because they've experienced the trauma themselves or a hole in the system of their trauma. And if you don't fix the trauma will be with you when you build your business. And so I think, and so now a reflection of that to me and my current positions on boards, advisories, and all of this is that the healers need to be healed in order to heal properly.
I love that because if I continue to run away from myself, everywhere I run to, myself shows up too. I said
Thank
something to Doc T. I said I tried to drown my problems in alcohol, but my problems learned how to swim.
It ain't going nowhere.
they gonna be they showing up larger and larger. So after that talk with him and after the help that he got you, were you good from there? Was that the last?
Yeah, I didn't drink for like, and trust me, there were plenty of reasons why I should have. But I didn't drink for 6 years. I actually didn't drink until the first time last year when I was like, okay, I want to go to wine country and I want to have wine. And I feel strong enough as a person to not get lost in alcohol. And
Mm,
if there's a reason that that comes back, because demons don't go away. They just, you're better equipped to deal with them. I was like, if it comes to a place where I'm using alcohol in my life as a way to keep like moving through life, then I got to put that stuff down. So I didn't drink for 6 years straight. Like it don't tempt it, but didn't, which is crazy because then this is where the highlight of my like this surges of me being on the mic starts coming from. And now I'm in nightlife and I'm doing festivals and I'm in spaces where alcohol is censored. I'm
yeah,
in bars, I'm in clubs, like everybody's doing everything. And here I am, sober Sally on the mic.
yeah, yeah. That was. I know that was rough in the beginning. How is it now?
Emceeing
Like,
sober? Oh,
yeah,
it's easy.
it's
It's
just
easy.
yeah.
I think what part of it is what I got to learn being sober and being on the mic was that energy. People say energy is currency, but energy is all around you. And so, as a MC, your job is to bring everybody from the doorman to the bartender to the girl that's living her best life in the front. and the homie in the back that trying to act like, oh, I'm too cool to do nothing.
That's
Yo,
it.
sitting like this. Man, my biggest pet peeve is when I do these events and his men sit standing in the middle of the dance floor. Like I cannot see them like this with big ass jackets on. You know you're hot. Take the shiesty off and like move your hips or something. Like, please. Um like, and I bully people on the mic too. So I will do that. I'm like, I know you hot. Why hey, hey, yeah, what you standing there for? Man, I mean, I'm just outside. Are you? Because you acting like you need to be inside. Like, I'll do all that. But you have to learn that energy is all around you and everybody's bringing their own stuff into space. Some
Yeah.
people are coming with the intention that you set, dance, be a part, be in this oneness. Some people, you got to mink to get there. And
Me.
so, mink. You have to fight to get them to get into the energy of space. And so, in being sober, hyper aware of where the pulls are coming from.
Mm,
I'm super aware. It could be something going on the dance floor. And now I got to go down there and be like, hey, what's good? What's popping?
yeah.
The DJ could be flustered or frustrated. And then now I'm turning my attention to the DJ, being like, F it up. Come on. Da 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 da. I see you, sis. Come on. Got my guy, blah, blah, blah. And hyping them up. It could be that really, really drunk girl that wants to get on the stage. And I know this is probably not a good idea. So let me get some assistant help. All right, let me bring you on the stage. But then all of y'all come on stage. So now she don't mess up the whole vibe. It's literally somebody said chess. I call it psychological warfare. It is a
Oh,
psychological warfare to be in space with hundreds of people a night, sometimes thousands if I'm doing festival stages, thousands of people, and bringing them onto one energy of enjoyment and joy. And the fact that I was able to perfect and learn and develop that craft as a sober person is why I'm such a great MC today.
talking about MCing.
Hmm.
How did you get into it?
Love this story because it's not the typical like, oh, the mic. Although I have a mini real set, the mic found me. I was at an event. This is before I was hired at Cobiz, and this is how Wesley and I got to know each other. I was helping a friend at the time with a community event called Fourth Fridays in the Park in Unity Park. And I had told her, like, you need to get on the mic and tell people, like, thank you, and this is your vision for this event, and blah, 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 giving her pointers. He gets on the mic, like literally goes like this, looks around, says, F this, hella loud, like directly into the thing across the speaker, hands me the microphone and walks off. And I just looked at her and I looked at everybody else. And I don't know what joke I made, but the joke I made, somebody captured a picture of me saying the joke. Everybody cracked up laughing. And I just started saying whatever. I just was talking like da 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 da, and we having a good time, blah, blah, blah. At the time, I had no idea that emceeing was an accessible career for me because when most MCs you see are like hosts on award shows and things like that, and it's always celebrities. So I didn't know at the time that, oh, this is a path that was opening up to me. It was just happenstance, and I'm just naturally funny, so it worked out. And then she asked me every month after that, and I did maybe three of those, and then she stopped doing the event all the way together. But from doing that, people were like, oh, can you host my fashion show? Oh, can you host this? Oh, can you host that? And so I was doing all these community events, small events in Richmond. Um, and I have been dancing in nightlife since 2016. I grew up as a dancer at Afro beats. Then eventually I'm a piano. Now we're on three step Afro house form, all this other stuff. Reggae Gold was the first stage I ever danced on. So we're talking about Caribbean soca. Da, 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 da. So I have been trained socially as a dancer for years before we get to 2019. We're talking about 2016 and 2019. So I had a reputation in that community as like dance floor energy on the dance floor. um, as I started getting better on the mic, I reached out to an organization that I knew the co-founder on and was like, hey, they do this event called Afrobeats at the Lake every year. And I said, do you need an MC? I would love to be a part. And he was like, yes, like immediate yes. And I'm like, okay, great. And I get on the mic. Um, and I was doing great in the beginning because there wasn't that many people there. Then
Okay.
at one point, I was paying attention, but not paying attention. And when I finally paid real attention, I realized I couldn't see nobody's faces. There's the folks out there.
Mm.
Froze up, something fierce. Panic attack behind the stage. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And then they're like, no, you're doing a great job. And the co-founder, he came up to me, brought me to the stage, and was like, "Y'all make some noise for Christina. She been holding it down all day, like da 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 da." And for some reason, that kind of got the tension out, and then this whole nother person tapped in where I'm
Mm.
like, now I'm da-da-da, we dancing together and I'm on the foot and I'm over here and I'm doing like I'm standing on top of speakers. And that was the introduction to the career that I currently have in this space. But literally what catapulted me to this was sliding in somebody's DMs. That's it. I saw a flyer. I saw they didn't have an MC. I saw it was a festival. I was like, hey, is this what you need? And they were like, yeah.
That's cool because that brings us that reminds me of the question that we started with is like, are those different people? And it seemed like in that moment, Christina and MC just kind of, Christina passed the mic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so even now, like as MC Energy, there's a practice that I do before I get on every single stage. I meditate. You will
Mm,
literally see me meditate in the club. I come in, the event starts at 10. I usually get there by 10:30. I sit cross-legged on the stage, right in the front, and roll my neck and my back. And then people say hi, and I'm like, hey. And I close my eyes and I do 3 deep breaths. Pray that anything in this space that is not in alignment to the energy of joy and freedom be removed, that I'm used as a conduit to make sure for people to have enjoyment, that my ego is not in the way of somebody getting what they need out of space. Thank you, God, for this gift, because without you, I am nothing. I cross myself, although I'm not Catholic. I do cross myself. I
gotcha.
give him a kiss, and then it's literally like a click, 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 click. Here
Mm,
comes MC energy.
here comes MC Energy.
Hmm.
I was going to ask that may be the answer to the question, but I was going to ask because I'm an actor, right?
Hmm.
So when I hit the stage, there's processes that I do, but I wanted to know, like, let's say a day where you had back to back shows, and you have to hit that stage, and you got to bring energy that you just don't have. What do you
Mm.
do?
Um, One of the key things about being an MC is that you're not supposed to be on the mic the whole time.
Got you.
You're not supposed to be talking throughout the whole thing. It's what people drives me nuts. So if I feel like I'm not connecting or I'm disconnected, I step back. I let the DJ do work and I get off and I start talking to myself in my head. You can't tell, but I'll be sitting there like, okay, what's going on? Why do you feel
Mhm.
disconnected? What do you feel? How do we purge it? It could be something happened before the event. Um, it could be something that happens like right before the event. I had an instance where I debuted an SF last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and a friend of mine wanted to broach a subject with me that she should have just waited to talk to me about. But it was in her way of saying it. She was like, I wanted to show up for you, but I felt like I would be fake if I did talk to you about what's bothering me right now. Mind you, I had 15 minutes before I was getting
Oh,
on stage. And I said, this could have waited. This was not necessary at this point. But it threw me off because I was like, these are not conversations I expect to have. And when
right.
I got in space, I was like, you cannot. And there's a thing that I also do walking between thresholds. Whatever was out there can't come in here, and
Mm,
whatever happens in here can't come home with me.
got you.
Like I'm not. We got to have some separation, and so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And when I'm in those moments, I literally turn the mic off, put it down, step back in an inconspicuous way, and just like literally, it's like I feel myself going like this, do 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 do, and it's like come back, 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 come back. Okay, well, and then we back at it again.
That's what's up. Is that a process that you just that just came to you, or is it something that you had to practice over time?
It's something I have to practice over time. Part of being big energy, and that's why my name is the way it is, InHerGy, is a nod to InHerG, like energy, but also InHerG, because I understand as a woman, I bring something into these spaces that, no offense to the men's, love y'all down, but there's something about feminine energy and party that's automatically, if done right and the work has been done with the person, is communal.
Mm.
And so if I'm not good though, it fucks up like it's so noticeable. It's like when a DJ don't know how to mix. And you sitting there like, okay, the blends is cute, but you need to get from one song to another. If I'm not right, you'll notice like my timing will be off. I'll be like when a big drop is coming on a beat, and I'm like, when this beat drop, I want you to da 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 take your energy up, like joy, whatever. And if I'm not in tuned, I'll 3, 2, 1 too soon or 3, 2, 1 too late.
I got it.
So
I
it's literally like, I don't know how, it's like this melting pot. So I have to, there's a lot of spiritual practices, which again, people look at me on stage and go, oh, that's just jumping up and down. And she just says whatever. And it's like, nah, bro, this is spiritual.
Yeah, at that event, me and you talked about it being like a dance.
It
Like,
is a dance.
yeah, it's like you and the DJ dancing with each other, you know. And that
If
right
they
there,
let me.
if they let you, that takes skill though, you know, and
Hmm.
it's something that I feel everyday people can do.
It is challenging because, to be frank, most events, I may have a residency at an event, right? Meaning that that event I get booked for every single month. The DJs are not the same. So I'm meeting people for the first time
Oh, got you.
in that moment. I don't know how they play. I don't know if they know how to play for an MC. I don't know nothing. So I'm literally within the first, we're talking about practices, within the first 5 minutes of a new DJ and I sharing stage, I don't say nothing. I introduce them, but I don't say nothing. I let
Mhm.
them warm up. I let them build up. And what am I hearing in the first 5 minutes? Your technical skill.
So you work as soon as you step.
I'm literally listening, like, okay, this is what a transition looks like for them. This is what blend looks like for them. Okay, they may be if they're not very well versed in music, I could tell within the first 5 minutes, depending on the genre, and be like, oh, okay, so this is gonna be one of them sing along things that every like songs everybody already know, blah 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 blah. If I hear blends, like you could literally tell. Mind you, I'm not necessarily musically trained, but because I've been doing this for so long, 7 years on the mic now, I am trained enough by ear to know when transitions are coming, like 60 seconds before they actually hit the stage. So y'all are excited when the transition actually happens or the blend happens. You're like, whoa. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I heard it 60 seconds ago. I heard it was
I
coming.
got you.
Like I knew that I don't know what it was, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a dance. If a DJ allows me the space to be almost like in marriage for an hour, it is the most energetically explosive thing that
Mm.
can happen in events. If a DJ is egotistical, it's the most destructive thing
Uh,
that can happen in an event. And so, what I've learned over time is that if a DJ, although they may say that they're cool with me emceeing, but they may not DJ like it, I'll put the mic down. I ain't fighting you.
how could you tell if a DJ is like arrogant or egotistical?
It's gonna sound crazy, but it's how they play.
How they play?
Yeah, because an egotistical DJ is not playing for the crowd, they're playing for themselves.
I see. I see.
So if if you pay attention to videos, you'll see it. In these videos, you see the DJ like going crazy behind the deck, and then the crowd is kind of just standing around.
Uh,
That's an egotistical DJ because you're not paying attention. You
Yeah.
think, and don't let there be cameras and stuff all set up around they booth, because now you're not playing for your crowd, you're playing for your cameras, for your YouTube upload. And of course, you're not going to record the crowd because you don't want to expose yourself to the fact that although you thought you were fire, nobody was messing around with you in the space. Those are my water breaks.
That's when you're like, all right, I'm going to get that water. The heavyweight wants to know: is there a difference between a host and an MC?
Okay, so MC means master of ceremony. These are people that no matter what event that you could come into, and I'll use myself as an example. Galas, festivals. I've been on panel discussions. I have been interviewed, as we're doing right now, but I also interview and moderate. So a master of ceremony is somebody who, and we've master of ceremonies existed way before me. We're talking about hip hop, right? Well, you had that person on the mic in the 80s and the 90s, just bringing energy up. That's an MC. A host, though, is a little different. They tend to be singular functions, and in the nightlife space, when you say host, it's usually a flyer host. So it's somebody who has a popular following or a big following that somebody gives a VIP table to and tells them, "Hey, can you show up at this place?" So like when you see celebrities are hosting party events, that's a host in my industry. I use MC because I feel like I am a master, or
Mm.
I'm getting in my mastery, right? I do everything. I've done everything from fashion shows. The only thing I haven't done is like a kids party, which would be crazy unless I have my own children. Then I'll MC my 2 year old's birthday party with Baby Shark and Afro beats or something like that. But I've done everything from all age ranges. So like I booked my first youth summit this in August, and I'm being booked to do multiple parts of the summit over 3 days. So I think hosts are people who can get on the mic and talk. MCs are people who can get on the mic and shift energy.
Thank you, the heavyweight, and keep them questions coming. Throw some
Hmm.
MC InHerGy. Uh, MC, what are your favorite types of events to host?
Um, they're all different for different reasons. I always describe festivals is like, okay, so club and festival. Festival is the tortoise. It's a long burn. You usually are there not at the start of an event, but if a festival starts at 11, you're on by 12. If it ends at 8 or 7 or 6, which is generally the time, we got 6, 7, or 8 hour festivals, you're there from 12 to 8. But in that, it's like you're building energy incrementally over time. So you're starting, you're not coming out the gate swinging at 12 p.m. You're making announcements. You're kind of commenting. You're hyping up the DJs and the people that are there. You're giving, you're giving, you're giving, you're giving. And then generally in festivals, right before you get to the headliner, there's this big, like, okay, if we're looking at a chart, it's going up, up, up. And then there's this huge swing.
Mm.
And then you, that's probably around 3 or 4. So now around 4, you have a 4 hour sprint where you're like,
You're like,
energy got to stay up all the way to the close of a festival. The reason why I love club, which is so funny because everybody's like, you like doing club events? Love them. Because I look at the club as recess.
as a recess, the club.
Like when we're in school and we were at
Yeah,
recess, the
yeah.
club is reset. The club done right, because there's a lot of critique about the club scene these days. The club done right is recess to me. It's like, let's get on the playground. And and that's a different energy because I have a different DJ every hour. It's usually 3 to 4 in a night. Each one brings their own sauce, and I'm adjusting to that. It's like when you have your friend group on the playground. One friend likes to jump off stuff. The other friend likes to slide down the slide. The other friend wants to build a sand castle, but she don't want to touch any of the stuff because it's nasty. One of them like to eat. It's the same thing as being in the club. Like my DJs are like your friends. Oh, this person want to be on hype energy for a whole hour. There's another one that's like, oh, I'm a slow burn, I'm a slow crawl. Okay, then we're gonna hit this big energy, right? Some people play music that's only sung by men. Some people play music that's only sung by women. And then you also have the crowd. So the
Yeah.
crowd's dancing, and then you're seeing a girls group twerking it on a handstand in the corner,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, what's going on over there?
He
Okay,
ran.
shout out to the bride to the building, like celebrated her, which just happened last 2 weeks ago. There's a bride in the building, and I was like, wait, is that a bridal party? Oh, yes. And so I gave her her moment. I said, you better show them why you about to be a wife. Girl went nuts. So it's very much like those are my two favorite places. I love galas for different reasons. I love to dress up. I'm just a girl. I love telling my story and sharing my story, especially because there are women hosts. There aren't that many, if any, women MCs in my space.
Yeah.
So I love those people or those places. But yeah, give me club, give me festival. I
That's
love just the energy and what makes and the reason why I love club too, because I told you earlier that people come into space with their own stuff.
yeah.
Um, Usually after I do club gigs, it happens at least once a month. Somebody tells me something traumatic that they're dealing with, and how being in space with me gave them the opportunity to just let go for an hour. It's
Mm,
powerful.
it is.
One, my favorite story was I used to MC the Afro Rave. I think this was the last year I did it. And everybody knows the moment I put my hair up because it could be getting hot, but the moment Christina MC Energy take her hair down and put on, I have this vest parka that's super long. It's like, oh, that's Christina. That's not MC Energy anymore. So this girl came up to me and my hair was down. I was sitting on the stage and I was just reflecting. She was like, I just really want to talk to you. I really want to talk to you. And security was about to kick her out. And I was like, it's fine. I said, baby girl, I'm tired though. So like, what's up? Um, and she goes, my dad died.
Oh wow.
Now, mind you, it's 3 a.m. I'm sitting here like, like, okay. I said, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences, blah, blah, blah. And she said, and I didn't want to come out. And my friends like made me come out. And you had said something because I had had a horrific week that week. And I said, I don't know if it's the Cosmos, retrograde, Gatorade, whatever y'all be talking about, but this week has been hard. So
Yeah.
when this beat drop, I don't want y'all to do nothing but be in this energy, be in this too. Throw all that, and I'm a cuss. So for those of y'all who have sensitivities, take all that shit that you got and put it on the dance floor. Do not take it with you because I'm leaving my shit here. And then I said, so you hear the beat. I said, are you with me? And everybody, the room screamed. And it was like deafening. Like the music, we couldn't even hear it for like 0.2 seconds. And everybody's like, yeah. I was like, okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. And it was like, boom. Even as I tell the story, I get goosebumps. But it was like this whole heartbeat came in together. And she was like, in that moment, I remembered my dad loved to dance.
Mm,
And so I stopped grieving him and started celebrating him. People demonize the club all the time, which I ain't gonna get into today. But that's why I like those spaces.
like you say, people demonize the club, but that basically what you just said. It felt like God was in that room, was in that building.
Um,
You know what I mean? Like that was a God moment.
mhm.
Everyone collectively was right there in that moment at that time. That's powerful, and just to be the MC that brought that together, like that's dope. Hot sauce says, "Hey, hey, hot sauce." The heavyweight says, "It's me, Antoinette. I ain't got
I
any
got
more."
no more questions. No worries. Thank you for asking. But yeah, it was a beautiful moment. And I get to experience a lot of those moments.
Yeah,
Like
I got it.
yes, when two or three are gathered, like I get to experience that so much. When the second year I did, so a festival example, the second year I did the Afro Beats at the Lake, there was this older black lady and she was standing in front of the stage. Now, when you're on stages that big, past like the third row, faces are hard to see.
Okay.
But I'm emceeing, energy is going up, and I look down and she's right in front of me and she's weeping, like just crying. And so I'm concerned because I'm like, what happened. So
Yeah.
when a performer came on stage and I got to take a break, I went down there and grabbed her and brought her backstage. And I was like, "Are you okay? Did anybody do anything?" And she was like, "No, I haven't felt this much joy in a very long time." And I was like, "Oh, I love that for you." She's like, "Yeah, my son was killed."
Oh,
I was like, okay.
right.
Again, you're not, because you're doing MC, like MC work is managing a whole lot of energy at once. So when somebody comes to you, that now has to reframe to this person. And so I'm like, okay. And she's like, and I've been feeling dead inside, and he shouldn't have left before me. He shouldn't have. And she just started like, it just came out. It was like she was vomiting. And she's like, and I haven't felt anything, and I've been so numb. And all I could do was give her a hug. And they were like, "We need you back on stage." I said, "Tell him to perform one more song." I was like, "I know he got a whole discography. Tell him to play one more song." And then everybody's like, "Oh," and he goes, "I think they want me to do one more." And I give her this big old hug, and I just held her. And I said, "I am so grateful that I get to have this space with you." And she goes, "But that's not why I'm crying. I'm crying because I heard your voice when I was walking down the street, and you were talking about having joy and being in a place." And she said, "And I just felt this energy in your words. So I didn't even know this event was happening. I went to the gate and bought a ticket to come in."
Wow.
And so afterwards, we talked some more. She called me niece, and because older Black people, she was like, "All right, niece, I'm coming next year, and I'm bringing my family." Andre, not only did she come the next year, she brought all these old Black people that don't know nothing about Afrobeats, don't know nothing about Piano, don't know nothing about Afro House. They was just sitting in the chair. And when she saw me, she's like, "Nee," she just screamed. I was like, "I got family out here." And then I look and I see her, and she is so radiant, just smiling and laughing. And I walked up to her and gave her a hug, and her family was like, "She's been talking about you a whole year." She made sure that as soon as the flyer dropped, that she told us all the date and to be there.
A whole year.
Oh, year. And then we danced together, and I brought her to the center of the dance floor. I said, "You better show these youngins how it was done. Let them know that you did." And she was just winding her waist and jumping up and down, and she just looked so free. And I'm like, again, God, I told a joke on a mic 7 years ago, but this is the honor that I have in my existence,
Yeah.
is to be joy to other people. And so one of my taglines as an MC is joy to the world, because that's my only goal as a MC. Of course, I want to like open a concert for Beyonce and dominate every festival in the Bay Area. And I want to travel. Actually, I will be traveling to the East Coast, to Philly, for the first time. So that'll be my first out of state gig. Of course, I have those kind of goals. But ultimately, when I see, like, I have so many pictures and content with people where they're hugging me, or they're crying and they're hugging me, or they're crying and laughing and hugging me, or whatever. I have so much content with people where I get to see their humanity and bring that forward in space. And I'm trying not to cry now because I'm super emotional. But that is like the best thing about what I do, especially in this chaotic world that we're in right now.
And it goes back to the beginning. It goes back to the people,
The
right?
people.
People. And in the process just continuing to build you. Like I love that. I love that. I no longer have could see the comments. I got a call and it kicked something off. So
Mhm.
to keep up, could you keep up with them for me?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay. If any questions or anything like that. All right. So you've done gigs all over the Bay, right? You have one in
Hmm.
Philly that's coming up. What is the best city or the best crowd that you ever just rocked? And then tell me the city that needs a little work.
You gonna get me in trouble? My God, you gonna get me in trouble. Okay. Honestly, although I've been emceeing for 7 years, this year has been the best year on the mic for me, because for 6 years I was just doing it. no plan. I had no brand. And I think this is a very important lesson too. And you ain't got to have everything perfect in order to do what God told you to do, right? I
yeah.
didn't have MC energy until 2026. So before it was just, I'm outside. People want me to MC. I'm like, sure, whatever. This year has been the best year. My best client, shout out to Actually Proper and Jamie. That is like the best group. Like Afro Bashment is my favorite event every single month. It's in Crybaby, usually the third or fourth Saturday of the month in Oakland, California. When
Okay.
I tell you, I do about 6 to 8 events a month. That's usually the last one of the month. When I come into that one, it feels like I'm at home. I'm like, oh, hey, y'all. I've been out and about. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. But baby, we about to, it's just the energy and Afro Bashment is always just, I think that's probably the one of it I selfishly am like, yeah, this one does something for me too.
Yeah.
The city that needs a little bit more work.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, I rep in my bios and everything. I always say I'm real Richmond.
Okay.
Richmond does not hire me.
Oh. Richmond. We gotta come through.
Richmond,
We gotta show up. This is getting posted
Richmond,
on YouTube too. We're gonna have to
yeah,
really put.
Richmond is the city that and the only person who has literally made a stage for me in Richmond, shout out to Cool John. John is my dog. John was like, I want to do this backyard series at oh my God, the backyard in Richmond. And he was like, you my MC, hands down. And then he
Okay.
told me next year I'm doing multiple months. You're my MC, hands down. I've done some community stuff. Shout out to Cobiz. Of course, Cobiz gonna hire me.
Yeah.
Richmond Main Street, when it was ran by Andrea, she hired me and I did Spirit and Soul. But I look at who MC. Well, first of all, I look at the event landscape in Richmond as a whole. It needs some work. Um, Bring some millennials and Gen Zs. Look me in my eye for anybody that's representing Richmond. Bring the young people in the planning. You don't have the sauce. It's okay. Get the money, build the infrastructure, but let these like 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds take over the events. Like that's what runs culture in Oakland. It's not government. It's the people. It's the people that are putting on these events and doing these things and having these experiences. Give us the opportunity to put on for our city. And the people that do have put me on stages, but I get booked in of every city in the Bay. I get booked at Oakland the absolute most. I actually
Okay.
just got an email yesterday for 5 months worth of events from an organization in Oakland, and all the events are in Oakland.
Okay, Oakland. Okay, Oakland.
Oakland hold me down. You'll
Richmond, we gotta
never hear
stand
me
up.
You will never hear me say nothing bad about the town. The town has held my career down for the past 6 years. This year has been one of the most beautiful, but the town is, I will always perform here. I would love to perform in my city, the Rich, but we're going to have to do
To
something
get that
about that.
together.
We're going to have to get that together.
Have you ever kicked somebody off stage
Absolutely. All the time.
all the time? Like
All the time.
yesterday. Yesterday.
So it's generally, there are two types of people and
Okay.
it's not subjective to gender. It's men or women. But when it's women, they're too drunk.
Got it.
So when I kick women off a stage, it's because they too drunk. When I kick men off a stage, it's because for some reason they think that my presence means that they can touch me or try to grab me or dance with me. And I have to say over and over again, and I do it in a nice way because I can't just be like stage in the middle of a thing. But I'll like an example is a guy, he came up on stage, was trying to dance with me, and I kept moving away from him and he kept coming towards me. And so I tapped the DJ and told him to cue a song for me. And it was Woman by Doja Cat.
Mm,
And I was like, play the intro, like let it run. And I said, let me tell y'all something right now. Being a women MC is I get to bully y'all and nobody gonna be mad about it. And then
mm.
everybody started laughing. I said, what we not gonna do is disrespect women in this space. If a woman tells you no, what's the answer? And the woman was like, no. I said, lady, say it again. No. I said, now, fellas, there is more than one woman that is willing to dance with you. And I looked at the man on the stage and said, but I'm not the one, two, three, or four.
And the crowd went crazy.
Yes. I said, so if you want to dance, I said, ladies, you see this man right here? And some people started cheering. I said, hey, look, you got fans. You might want to go down there. DJ, drop that shit. Woman, let me be your woman. And then everybody went back to doing what they was doing. So yeah, I do it all the time. It's usually a safety precaution. Gratefully, I know all the security in the venues that I do occupy, so I haven't had to do it as much. But when I do, I keep it cute and fun.
And fun. All right, so I got a question.
Hmm.
You worked with Dimness.
I did.
How is your relationship?
Now, I
Yeah,
don't talk to Dimless.
you don't talk to him. Okay. What city you live in?
I live in Oakland. I'm actually in the hills. I live in Montclair.
Okay. So I wasn't gonna ask who you was voting for. I wasn't gonna go that. I wasn't gonna go that far.
Well,
But
I mean, like if we're gonna be clear, I know who the candidates are. I stay up on Richmond politics. Um, there needs to be a shaking of the table in Richmond for sure.
mhm,
I noticed there is cyclical issues that happen in the city, like the city's not fully staffed. There's no space. When we talk about arts and culture, it's in a very segmented box, and it's usually arts, not culture.
mhm,
The major events that are done in the city of Richmond are done by the same people and have been for the past 20 something years. So what I do think is going to happen is Dimless is going to be, I'm predicting, Dimless is going to be mayor because people really want to change.
mm,
And with the current mayoral candidates, he's the youngest. He's the most tapped into culture. He's the most tapped into the people. Like the Bay Area creative industry is on a rise this year. Like it's crazy. And a lot of that talent is coming out of Richmond. Dimless is connected to those people. The folks that are running for council, I mean, running for mayor right now, they're not connected to the creatives. They're not connected to the techies that live in Richmond and commute to SF. They're not connected to, people like Cool John who single-handedly boosted the food economy in Richmond by just doing videos.
mm.
Like he went out of his way and visited all these places and put people on, and every single restaurant saw an increase of sales. Um, they're not tapped in. So it's going to come down to who's the most tapped in culturally, because culture right now is not just an aesthetic, it's infrastructure. Nightlife, entertainment is what's keeping cities going. It's the reason why Oakland went from looking like Gotham to now is the number one city in the country to eat at. Like Oakland,
Okay.
like or the nightlife industry in SF. I went to a conference out there and they've established so much infrastructure for culture to come in because they recognize people, even in the darkest of times throughout history, people want enjoyment. And if Richmond doesn't have that, or they're not having those kind of connections, somebody who does will succeed. So I really think Dimless is, and even if you watch his campaign and the things that he's doing, he's like co-hosting parties and community events and fish fries and all this other stuff. And that's because the generation that is coming up behind to vote, these things matter. And if you understand economics, so for those who don't know, I run two businesses, and one of them is in creative economic development. So I read and study a lot of this stuff. If you're not tapped into culture as an infrastructure, your city will die off over the next, like, at least in terms of that kind of revenue over the next like 5 years. Because people want to be outside. They just want to be outside for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. I feel like it's so many like with you. Like we could be on here for 2 hours because
We could.
even from the start, I feel like that should be his own segment. Like approaching West and saying, I'm an alcoholic. I could relate a lot to that. So I feel like we should connect and talk about that. And then I brought up the politics because elections, I think, is tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
term.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, a
And
couple of
then
my friends who live in Richmond have hit me up and be like, "Who should I vote for?" From council members to mayors, and I've been like, "This is my take based off of what I've seen."
yeah, and so to be honest, the first one I met was Dimless, and
Mm-hmm.
then I had an I don't know if you know we did that event at Cobiz,
Mm-hmm.
and Anderson showed up and spoke,
Mm-hmm.
and Jamila, she's just seemed like I don't. I'm from Compton, California. You know, I can't
He said,
vote
"I
for
got a
Richmond.
dog in this
I ain't
fight."
got nothing to do with it. You know, that's just a disclaimer right there.
Yeah.
But I really love how they are just to me normal people. Like you
Yeah.
can just have conversations. They, you know, he's like 30 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jamila, I'm saying it right, I think. Jamila and
Yeah,
Brandon,
Jamila.
the
Mm-hmm.
big three is just
Mm-hmm.
like they super cool. But
Yeah.
Anderson seemed like he's cool too.
He is. And I actually work with Anderson in the Economic Development Commission. But I think back to my original point that culture is infrastructure and you need to be tapped. It's one, I think, and I hate bringing this man's name up, but Trump desensitized what the politician could look like,
Mm,
right? Good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. He did. So it makes it more palatable for people to want to have a politician that feels like the homie,
yes,
not somebody just talking in all this jargon, like just you make it plain. And
yeah,
that's how he won. Demlis won his first campaign as a councilman. He had, you know, teenagers fresh out of high school with babies on their hip voting. And the ballot, it was so funny because the stories that came out at the time was like the ballots were empty except for Demlis's name checked off.
wow.
Nobody knew anything else about anything else. They were
See,
just like,
see, and then like you said, he be at those different events. They had a
mm-hmm.
content creator event that I thought was super.
The
Just
Cobiz, yes.
yeah, I think that is something they need to keep like twice a month or something because that's on the rise. But if he's
Yeah.
out there,
He
you
out
know,
there.
sitting there with us eating chicken wings,
Mm.
you know. So, all right, can you let everyone know? So this is what we're gonna do. Let everyone know how they can book you, and then we're going to end with rapid fire questions, if that's cool.
All right. So you can book me at MCNHergy, at gmail.com. Sometimes people like to slide in the DMs. I also have a website. So there is a booking form on the website for you to tell me about your event. If you know me, like some of these people watching the live right now, yes, you could shoot me a text, but I prefer email because I could get all details from you. It's hard to figure those things out in text. My summer is getting booked up really, really fast. So please, if you have an event that you're considering me for, reach out sooner rather than later. And one thing I do say is even if you think that your event is too cheap for me, reach out anyway. I do by selection, there's no process to it, but at least one pro bono event per month where I give my time to community. So if you want me for something, don't count yourself out. If the date is available and I'm not booked for something that's monetary, by all means, if you're in community, reach out to me. We can work something out. I have a whole separate package deal for people who ain't got no money. That's not a dig, but it's just like I don't think you should not have things because you don't have the money or you're trying to build something. So I do at least allot one event per month to serving community.
That's powerful. So definitely message her, hit her up. Do we have any questions in the comments?
I didn't
Anything?
see any.
No?
Our
Okay.
Contessa said, "Hey, family."
Who said that?
Contessa, she OG Cobizian, like OG.
Oh,
Yeah, she was with us back in like when we first started in the day.
that's what's up. And then we need
Hmm.
another segment about to dive deeper into COVID. So I'll be messaging you.
Yeah,
Hit
we
you
can
up.
do this again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You did a good
All right.
job.
Thank you. Look, you told me what I know. All right, so real quick, rapid fire questions: coffee or tea before a show?
Ooh. Well, now tea. I gave up coffee.
What is your biggest pet peeve about hosting?
Not having your details together before I get there.
Mm. One word that describes your stage presence.
Joyful.
What's your dream event to host?
Want to open a concert for Beyonce as the energy on stage before she gets on.
What's the most unexpected thing that happened on stage before?
It's all the stories. Or well, no, another one. Somebody threw money at me. They made it rain. I was surprised. I was like, where'd this come from? So yeah, I got a little money gun. So that was cool.
Microphone or no microphone?
Microphone.
Favorite crowd you ever worked with?
Afro bashment.
Worst thing someone can do while you're hosting?
Ask me to tell the DJ something. No.
Day party or nightclub?
Ooh. Both, because Christina likes to be asleep by 9, but then nightclub got its own energy to it.
R&B or hip hop?
I don't like current hip.
Heels or sneakers on stage?
Sneakers, New Balance 960s. I own 5 pairs in 5 different colors. Most comfortable tennis shoe known to man.
Tupac or Biggie?
Oh, Tupac.
Brandy or Monica?
Brandy.
Nas or Jay-Z?
Jay-Z. Sorry, y'all.
East or
Sorry.
West?
Wes.
All right, last one. This is easy for you. Frisco or Oakland?
Oakland. I do. Fun fact, I don't like San Francisco as a city. I love performing there and I'm getting to love it again, but I used to work in finance and on market. Ooh, Oakland, the town. Town me down.
Richmond or Oakland?
Richmond. Only because I don't want to get jumped in my DMs. Richmond, that's my city, and I have so much hope and love for what's to come for us.
Dimless or Anderson?
I almost
Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer.
called you the N word.
No.
No comment.
No, don't answer. Don't answer.
D, no comment.
Yo, Christina, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I'm gonna say it's go vote. Whatever it is, go vote.
Go vote. Go vote. This is the this is the first installment. I'll reach out to you. I'll check your schedule. Congratulations with everything you do. Thank you for sharing your energy. Thank you for earning that smile because now you can share it with us. Thank you for overcoming everything that you've been through. Thank you for your honesty and your transparency. And it started from day one, even with that conversation with Wes. Thank you for changing the lives of them people and the the lady who lost her dad and just spreading that energy and changing atmospheres. That name fits you perfect in her G.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm glad I
Thank
know.
you. Glad to know you too.
Glad
This
I'm
was
part of the
beautiful.
Cobiz family too.
Hey, I said, let me go pull this out the bottom of the closet.
Yeah, that's what's up.
uh,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. This was great. Looking forward to our second conversation. Let's keep this going.
Let's keep it going. Appreciate you. Any last words for the people?
You can do anything. Like literally, the only limits to your life are the limits you impose on yourself. And as somebody who lives limitless and very delusional, I must say I like it better on this side.
Oh, that's perfect.
Mic drop.
We're gonna drop it there. I see you soon, all right?
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. I have no access to anything.